This week's UFC main card was absolutely mental. First off, we had Holloway. Now, that was just crazy. Absolutely crazy. To see him already winning the fight, point down in the last 10 seconds to swing it out, that is what you call a scrapper at heart. Then we had the main event as well, shooing the ref off just so he could knock him out after he got hit with a little groin shot. That was a pretty good watch as well. But everyone thinks these fighters get a lot of money. And don't get me wrong, they get paid. And I don't think they get paid enough. But that money you see them getting, they don't actually get that in their bank. We're going to take Holloway, for example. Holloway got a 600k bonus. I don't know what he got paid for his show money and his fight money. But let's just say, for math's sake, he got paid 200 grand to fight, 200 grand to win. He won, got the 400k, then he had that 600k bonus. Now, first off, American tax is a little bit different to how it works here. They take the tax before you can even do anything about it. So you'll get paid less because the state will take the tax. Now, when I was looking, I thought the state tax was 30%. Now, when I was looking on the computer, it said it was 9% there, but I'm not too sure what the state tax is in Vegas and how they do get taxed with that, but let's just say it's 10% for good math's sake. And I'm going to get this calculator out here, and we're going to start with $1 million. Now that is what Holloway got paid, give or take. It might be completely wrong, but if he got paid $1 million all in, let's take away 10% for tax. Now it takes it to that. So that is the state tax. That is not his country tax. And then he's got to pay his coaches and he's got to pay his management. Coaches, usually it's going to be 5% to 10%. Let's go, we'll go 7.5% just to get that in between. So if I take off 75 grand off that, that is going to his coaches. We're now on 825. Now, after that, you have got your management. Now, management ranges really 10% to 20%. Now, you might think that is absolutely outrageous, and I think that is well, paying 20% to a management. But when I've seen other fighters' contracts, that is normally the case. They normally pay 20%. For that one, we'll go in the middle again. We'll take 15%. So I'm going to take off 150 grand. So now, we are on, my calculator messed up there. So we've taken off 75k. Take away 100k for that tax we were on about. Take away another 150k for the management. We are now on 675k. We've not finished there. Now, it depends how a fighter does it. He could be registered in his personal name, which I would definitely not recommend if you are making that much money. Or it could be in a business. Now, if he's in a business, there's ways of expensing it. But if it's England, you'd get taxed 19% corporate tax on that to put it in your business at the end of the year. Now, it all depends here because are you paying it to your personal account? Are you expensing it? Are you putting it into investments? But for that sake, I'm just going to take 20% off again for the tax if you didn't expense it. Now, that $1 million that you thought Max Holloway got, that is now 475 grand. That is over half is gone. So that's 600k you thought he got as a bonus. He probably got half of that. Tax, management, coaches, tax again for his country. Now, that's absolutely outrageous. Outrageous! As a fighter, you work your ass off for that to happen. Now, he could be on a lot more than that. It probably was for the fight. I've just taken $1 million to make it an easy ball figure. With each fighter, it might be slightly different. Within the contracts for your management, the bonuses might not be included. They might be included. It depends what you've signed. But when you are signing contracts, that's something you definitely want to look at, because some people just do it on the fight money as the show money and the bonus money to win. They don't do any extra bonuses for knockouts or fight the night. But that will be in the small print of each fighter's contract. unfortunately, I don't know Holloway's contract. But if his contract's just a standard 15% to management, 10% to coaches, and then end up probably paying 30% in tax, that's what he's on. 475 grand from $1 million. So let's say he just made 2 million. I don't know if he got pay-per-view or not. He's probably getting $1 million. Half of that. That is outrageous. The government taking the money. But I guess that is just how the world works. But there is ways of avoiding it slightly, the tax. But in America, the state takes your tax before you get given your paycheck. Whereas in England, if you fought, you'd get given your whole paycheck. You can then put it in investments, put it into expenses, buy holidays with it and say it's a business trip. And this will lower your tax bill. But in America, they'll state tax you first. And then if you're a individual that is fighting under a different country, you'll then get taxed in your country as well. So if I went over to America, I am registered for a business for my fights and PTs. If I fought there, I'd get my state tax, it would go on my business account, I'd come home, my business gets taxed at the end of the year. If I paid myself out of that to my personal account, my personal will get taxed, income tax from the government. And that proves tax is an absolute ball ache. But let's say Holloway got half of his paycheck. That 600k bonus is probably turned to 300k. But don't get me wrong, you can still put that money to use, and it is still a lot of money. It's just not as much as most people think. I will see you in the next one. I would tell you to subscribe, but I'm not your mum. I'm not your dad. Do what the fuck you want. I'm not asked. See you in the next one. Bish, bash, bosh, pow!